Congress shall make no law respecting the establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or the right of the people to freely assemble and petition the government for a redress of their grievances. It's the First Amendment. It's all that matters.
Folks, it's time again for another episode of the Rick Castellano Show. Thank you, Great Granny. Thank you, Great Granny, for also staying up late at night to watch me. I'll always honor you, especially when you give me a lifetime supply of Granny's Diet Ginger Ale. Folks, tonight's episode's called The Lamestream Media. Castellano, did you come up with that yourself? No, I stole it from Bernie Goldberg. I don't think he'd mind in this case. Folks, Castellano has been saying it for months, maybe years, but media bias is at its worst. And what did I stumble across? Where'd you find it? At Borders? Wegmans? Some worldwide news? No? I found it at the stall at Uncle Jed's Pancake House. It was in there, and I happened to see it on the floor. I picked it up with some tongs. And to Castellano's amazement, first of all, let's take a look at this picture. Alfred E. Newman at his best. Now, for you folks that can't read, like most of the people that watch my show, like me too, why are Obama's critics so dumb? By Andrew Sullivan. Oh, I thought it was from Michelle Obama because we've never been proud of this country. My husband was like, okay, why are Obama's critics so dumb?
Sure.
Now, wait a minute. Let me look at this again.
Is that what it really says?
Right there, folks. You know what? Let me see if it even says it. Well, it's this month. Oh, January 23rd, 2012. Why are Obama's critics so dumb? Do you know how ridiculous that is? You pompous idiot. How stupid and foul-smelling this is? Well, let me give you a little clue, loser. Why am I a critic of Obama? Because he's half black and half white? No. It's got nothing to do with it. I like people, and I like people that accomplish things. I like people that say they're going to do what they're going to do. I like people that do what I like, not what they like. But anyways, Obama, why am I a critic of him? Folks, this isn't a black America. This isn't a white America. When I'm elected, it's going to be a gray America. Sorry, you've been separating this since you got here. Starting with your professor there at Harvard that talked bad about the cops, talking about the wealthy and the poor, and they should pay more, and wealth risk redistribution and all this kind of crap. No, if you want ideas, don't separate. Join people together and work together. Don't make somebody evil and somebody good. That's all you did since the start. Let's stick to the facts, Castellano. If you elect me president, even though I got big ears, the nose is going to grow, folks, so stay tuned. Get away from your TV set. I'm going to cut the deficit in half in my first term. First term is 4 years. Well, It's almost up. And you triple the deficit. You didn't cut nothing in half. You triple it. And there's no way that you want to change it. Guess what, folks? This president hasn't had a budget passed. And remind you, a budget, usually pass a budget every year. Cuomo's not doing a half bad job. I might not agree with all his politics, but he's got his budget passed on time for New York, and that's a first. But anyways, we haven't had a budget passed in over 1,100 days. We don't even have a budget. Why? Because if they had a budget, they have to stick to it. So why don't I critical of him? We don't have no budget. He's going to cut the deficit in half. We got a pipeline, the Keystone Pipeline, from Canada to the United States with gas. Oh, no, we can't do that. If you go to create 100,000 new jobs, 20,000 instantly, we're not going to do it. Why? Because a couple of my ecologists don't like it. They think we shouldn't do it. Well, should have thought of that 100 years ago when we first started building the pipelines. We got hundreds of pipelines coming in from Canada already, in the United States, to Mexico, everywhere. And they were built 50, 60, 70 years ago. My, this is the United States of America since then. We put a rocket on the moon, have a space shuttle, so our technology could be even safer. Well, the ones we built 60 or 70 years ago, them guys were, like prodigies or something. They were smarter than we are today. No, we're smarter today. No, don't stick your political agenda. You even said it, Obama. You thought gas was too cheap. You thought it should be higher. Because if it was higher, then people would use so much of it. Because you believe in this global warming. You know what? We could debate global warming. I personally don't believe in it. A lot of other people don't. But if you want to control the people, say there's global warming. Al Gore went from, being a guy that made a couple $100,000 a year to a guy that's made $100 million with his global warming. Did he believe so much? We have carbon, our footprint, we should buy carbon credits and all that kind of stuff. This guy leaves his lights down in his house all day. He's got a light bill at the end of the month. It's $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a month. But the law only pertains to you, not to Al Gore or Obama. They have parties every night at the White House. Let them have them in the daytime if they're worried about global warming. But anyways, Al Gore, private jets here and there, burning up energy. Why isn't he going to regular jet and burn less? Because they just something to control you. Folks, he is a liar. Anyway, sticking to the facts. Keystone Pipeline could create jobs. He said, I don't spend a waking moment where I don't think how I could create jobs. We have plenty of ways to create jobs right now. He don't want them. Well, wait a minute. We could pass the stimulus package.
Again.
Well, the second stimulus two. Well, let's talk about stimulus one first before we go to stimulus two. I just got elected. Let's see. Saul Alinsky says, never you ruin a crisis. It's your time to do anything you want, which he did. All these shovel-ready jobs, as he said. Of course, well, you remember a couple months ago when he said, I guess my shovel-ready jobs weren't so shovel-ready. Anyways, all he did is give money to the unions, reward the people that backed him through his presidency so he could go and become president of the United States. So we spent $1 trillion, and what we get for it? Poppycock. Says we're going to create millions of jobs? Then all of a sudden, that's why, folks, wake up, please. When somebody says they're going to create 1 million jobs, create 1 million jobs. Create, 800,000 jobs. But don't say, well, since you didn't do it, we saved or created 1 million jobs. So because we could have. This stuff is something you can't prove save or created. When you tell the American people to pass the stimulus bill and you're going to create 1 million jobs, we want to see 1 million jobs. We don't want this poppycock, this double talk, this sidewinding. Well, I got my... Look, I'm going to explain something to you. You got a jury trial. You got some lunatic that murders his whole family. The defense will go get their psychiatrist and they'll analyze the guy and say, he's totally nuts. It wasn't his fault. Now, you get the prosecution. They'll get their psychiatrist, say this guy's perfectly good to stand trial. So when you see somebody says, well, the Obama administration did a study and said that we build this pipeline, it's going to be really, really dangerous. Well, get somebody unbiased that does it. Don't get your people that are radicals to do the test. Of course it's going to be. Anybody could cook the figures. Folks, there's corruption on both sides. Not just the Obama administration, but we're talking about him now because that's the cover of the magazine. There's corruption. Don't be lied to. You're too smart for that. But anyway, he said he's going to create 1 million jobs. He didn't. The country's in turmoil. He said, if I pass the first stimulus package, quote, folks, country's in dire need. We're in really serious trouble. We don't pass this, the banks are going to flop. You know, Armageddon. My wife won't be able to eat pig knuckle sandwiches at 3 o'clock in the morning. You must do something now. So what do? We passed the stimulus package because you promised if we passed it, unemployment would go up to 8%. Well, it's well surpassed it. Way over, close to 10%, and just recently it went down a little. Why? Well, like it went down a little last year because it's Christmas time. Now we'll see what happens next month when we see the employment rate. Just like, well, the census. Look at all the people working. Everything's are getting better. What happened after the census was done? The tank. You're not creating no new jobs. So, why are Obama's critics so dumb? Could it be because we're not dumb, because we're smart, and we don't just go, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, master, yes, master. Yeah, I don't believe you. You're a liar. You don't do anything you say you're going to do. Well, I never heard Reverend Wright say any of that kind of stuff. Rev, no, I couldn't disavow him. It's like my own grandmother. Well, my kids, he's their godfather. And my kids, I've been going there for 20 years. Me and Oprah, we used to sit in the back row together, or the front row. Anyways, we used to slap Rev around the back when he'd say racist jokes about white people. Yeah, we loved him. No, I don't know anything about that. Did you know little old Rev was going on national talk show saying the same thing that he said, that people were just, you said, they're just grabbing sound bites from certain things he said? You know what? You had to denounce your old buddy and chum. Rev, the Rev old sport, old buddy, old chum. Well, where is he now? He's distanced himself from you. You know what? He even says that you're a hypocrite, and I think you are. But anyways, everybody had to believe that you had no idea what was going on there, that you must not went to church that often because you regularly talk racist stuff. Now, talk about a few other things. Community organizer over in Illinois, activist, shakedown artist. you were good friends with Acorn. People remember Acorn? Dead people voting? Yeah, of course. Hey, you know what, folks? The Democrats been doing it for years. We don't want IDs. We do not want the people to have IDs to vote. You know why? Because then we can do anything we want. We can have dead people voting, people in old folks' homes. We can manipulate the vote. We can get free meals. We can cart people over here and there and get votes. You know what? It's been going on. Enough's enough. You need an ID. Producer, excuse me a second. Let's show facts because this is the facts right here. Okay. Obama in Arizona, the clash over illegal immigration. That Jan Brewer, she's a terrible lady. You know what she wants to do? You know what? Wait a minute, I gotta have a drink because I'm mad. That evil white lady, Jan Brewer, is governor of Arizona. You know what she wants to do? She wants to obey the law. She wants to obey the law. She wants to enforce the laws of the land, of the United States. And what does Obama and his cronies want to do? Eric Holder and company? Let's sue them. It's racial profiling. Oh, if I get pulled over for driving too fast, if I get pulled over for not having a seatbelt, license and registration. I don't think twice about it. It's the law. Not so. Obama needs the Mexican vote, or some Latinos probably feel that Mexicans are taking advantage of, since, you know, they're all of the Spanish heritage. Folks, Puerto Ricans, Spanish people, for the most part, they've all came here legally. We shouldn't want illegal immigration because, you know, it doesn't just stop here with people from Mexico. And We're a nation of laws. You go to any other country in the world, including Mexico, they don't let people over there in their southern border. Not. They got towers with towers with guys with machine guns keeping guys out. So don't be fooled by a guy with a pinstripe suit up, sitting on somebody's lap, looking like Mortimer Snerd. He's a liar. Obama and his cronies and these people who run these dumb, ridiculous articles are why are we so dumb? No, we're not so dumb. The reason why we don't like Obama is for what he does. If he did good things, I'd praise him. I invest in the country. I don't have enough money to hide it under mattresses or hide it in other countries and stuff like that. I want the country to do good so I could do good. Okay? I don't want you to raise my taxes, okay, because you're spending money foolishly on stupid things. So, Mr. Obama, Andrew Sullivan, this is poppycock. This is trash. This is worse than the National Enquirer is worse. Media bias at its worst. And Castellanos are going to stay for it. Folks, we're going to go to a commercial break. There's still plenty more to talk about tonight. You're watching the Rick Castellano Show. We're back, folks. Media biased at its worst. Like you've seen the cover of Newsweek. Newsleak, that's like the doodle. I'd like to take a leak on it. Folks, what happened? What would happen if the Republicans ever did any of this stuff or ever said any of this stuff? Well, they did. Newt Gingrich this week asked at a presidential debate, was talking about President Obama is the food stamp president. People went nuts around the country. Not everybody, the liberals. Mr. Gingrich was asked about it by Juan Williams. Castellano likes Juan Williams, is a fair man. He's liberal. But you know what? He says he's entitled to his opinion. Sometimes I agree, sometimes I don't. But he said, Mr. Gingrich, people around the country, they're talking about it, thinking that like you're racist in some corners. Some people do. Because you called President Obama the food stamp president. How would you like to respond to that? Mr. Gingrich said, well, first, this is why I respect the guy, because don't be politically correct. You're trying to help the country. First, I like to say is because he is the food stamp president. Food stamps have went up 600% since he was president. Now, mind you, some people who are going through hard times deserve to get it, but it's so easy to get 600%. So, throughout history, out of all the presidents in the United States, the food stamps passed out have been the highest in this administration, 600 times more. So what? Calling the food stamp president? Is that racist? No, it's a fact. Now, nobody said he's the black man's food stamp president because there's a lot of white people on got food stamps too, folks. So don't just think if you mention food stamps it means black, because that's not what Castellano sees. I got to go by the facts. A lot of white people on food stamps. But he make it so easy, everybody will get them. As a matter of fact, folks, I got to remind you, Castellano would have been the first guy in line in the old days. You know why? Because Castellano loved free things. I love free things. And I'm like, hey, you could get something cheaper? Hey, I just got this, so I acquired it from this store. It's $300 for you. You could have it for $150. What do you think Castellano would do? He'd find money real quick to get a good deal. Until I realized some store owner has to increase the value of the other merchandise in the store to charge everybody else. And I might be that customer that wants to buy something else, okay, from their store or buy there, and it costs me more money and I can't afford to buy it. Why? Because people are stealing some of the merchandise. Or the increase, the theft charges, the increase in stuff, the average person isn't able to afford the product. So Castellano understands those kind of things. And a strange thing happened to me on the way to the forum. I started realizing that I always believed in God, but God said, no, Castellano, that's the wrong thing to do. So, even though my human nature says, wow, I could do this, I just fill out a couple of forms and I could get $200 of free money every month for food. I could have steaks and stuff instead of eating dollar Whoppers. Little devil's got the pitchfork on the side of my arm, and I say, okay. But now I realize, hey, I got a 5-year-old kid. he's got to grow up. And when he grows up, because of me taking advantage of society, he might not have nothing. He might be living in some place like Greece with their rioting all the time and all kinds of bad happening. And you know what? Whether I act tough or not, I believe in the American people. You know what? It's my duty to do the best that I could do and let the people that need it and deserve it use the system, not just take advantage of the system, worry about me, me, me. It's time to stop worrying about me, me, me. Mind you, some people need help, which is fine, okay? But when people take advantage of the system just to try to get ahead, it hurts people. So, food stamp president, absolutely nothing wrong with it, but the facts, and President Obama doesn't want, look at folks, let me just tell you the truth for a couple seconds. Let me stick to facts, and I wish you'd check them. If anybody's got the time, check the facts. Get in touch with me if you think I'm wrong with you. Most of the presidents, they would have the World Series team, the basketball team that wins, the football team invited to the White House. You know, they'd honor a few people, they give a few medals. This president has a party every weekend. Maybe twice during the week, 3 times. Every single week. It's a business as usual. He's golfing more than anybody. He's on the courts. He's doing anything he wants. But he's saying the 99% against the 1%. Folks, it's easy for him to say, I'd love to see this president. And I'm telling you right now, I'm looking to your face and I'm telling you, when he's done being a president, even if he's the worst in history, which he's got a good chance of becoming, he's going to get $300,000, $1 million a speech. They still want to hear him. They want to hear from that fool, Jimmy Carter, the peanut farmer. For years, he's going to have the Secret Service give him, take security. He's going to go to restaurants. They're going to pay for his food. So he gives one speech. You know what? I don't know. I played 42 rounds of golf this year. So you know what? I need to earn a couple dollars. I'm going to go to Harvard or Columbia. I'm going to give a speech, get $1 million. That's what he gets. So when he tries to talk bad about these evil Wall Street guys, he's one of them.